Hey everybody. I know it's late, but I'm up late painting. So I had someone say that they would love to see me paint the leaves. So I decided that I would hop on here and paint maybe this middle section with y'all tonight. Hey. I'm kind of gonna try my best to stay out of the camera because I'm looking a hot mess. And the kids are still awake. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to do, my table is a complete disaster. I've got all kind of stuff stacked up on this table. Let me get my paints. I think I've pretty much let everything, wrong color. I think I pretty much let my paint dry that I had on my plate. Let me get some more. I'm using two different colors. I'm using the Hauser medium green, and I'm going to be using the Hauser green light. One's by Deco Art, one's by Folk Art. Hey Lee. Oh, hello, Bless from Mississippi. Well, thank you so much. So this is actually my first time painting pumpkin leaves like this. So I'm still learning. That's one of my things that I'm trying to learn more about and get a little bit better at is shading and blending and learning different techniques, so I will be able to teach my insiders that's in my inside scoop how to do these things and make them a little bit easier. So with these leaves, what I'm doing, and if you're wondering how I got these leaves, I didn't sit here and hand draw these leaves. I got on the computer and kind of searched pumpkin leaves, and then I printed them out on the computer, and then I used some graphite paper and put it on the pumpkin, and I traced out the leaves onto my wooden design. So that's how I got the leaves, the shape of the leaves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by double loading my paintbrush with two different shades of green, and then I'm gonna come in on with this leaf here. And like I said, I am very new to the double loading and using like the medium. So I've just got it double loaded. I've got a dark side and a light side. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start like right here and just kind of wiggle my paintbrush. And I'm gonna keep on double loading it with those colors. And when you double loading it, it really makes it a lot easier to do like the shading and stuff. So that is how I'm doing these pumpkin leaves. Hey Bootsy, what are you doing still up? I'm asking you that, and Zoe and Eli is still in there making videos. I don't know what they're doing. I'm surprised their daddy hadn't got up yet and told them to get their little butts to bed, because they are still up and kind of loud. So there's one of the leaves. Hey Natalie, hey Doris. And I'm trying to talk a little bit low because I don't want to wake him up. He'll probably think I'm crazy coming live this late at night. But why not? Why not come hang out with you guys? It'll just make it a little bit more funner. I'm just gonna kind of go in and put another layer on that real quick and try to like blend it in a little bit, like going towards the middle part. And I'm sorry if I'm off the camera. Hey, Patricia from Michigan. Hey, Barbara. All right, now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna get this side here. I'm at this little leaf. This little leaf is a little bit simpler. It's not quite as big and developed as that leaf is. Hey, Kim. I'm realizing that my TV is pretty loud. So I hope it's not too loud. So there's those two leaves. And I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna take the same brush, kind of double load it, and go ahead and kind of make my little vine. And then I'll come back and do put some different shades inside of there. I'm gonna go ahead while I've got my brush double loaded already, and I'm gonna go ahead and get these two leaves up here on the top pumpkin. Make sure I'm in view. And I dip my brush a good bit. You wind up getting a good bit on your brush at one time, but that kind of helps to where you don't have to come and put a lot of different coats on here. So there's that one. And then I got this one right here. Now I'm gonna flip it around this way. Try not to get my arm in it. Thank you, Brandy. Hey, Crystal, thank you. Hey, Kathy, thank you. Hey, Miss Amanda and Chris. I'm gonna pull that down, let it kind of come to a point on the end right there. All right, so there's those 4 leaves. Gonna take that same brush, double load it, and just kind of come up here to the top. Make a little bit of vine or a little bit of a stem going on there. All right, so there's those leaves. Now I'm gonna come and I'm gonna start doing my vines. And the vines, I'm not a fan of doing the vines. They're all right to do, but they can be a little bit aggravating because I can never find a paintbrush that holds enough paint that I don't have to constantly dip my paintbrush inside of my paint. See how it runs out there? That's the only thing I do not like about doing the vines. And I will be adding all different shades of greens in this. Let me see, and I've got one on this side. Ooh, that TV's got some words going on. Y'all give me just a second. I'm gonna go turn that TV down. I don't know what in the world's on. Let me go turn the TV down real quick. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Turn some Andy Mack on for the kids. Maybe they'll get in there and watch it and fall asleep. All right, so let me look and let me see. I think I'm gonna just leave the vines there. I don't want to put too many vines. I may put like maybe one coming there, a little, kind of a little vine. Kind of like that. All right. Now let me go ahead and get this vine. I need some more of the darker green. I'm surprised there's any of y'all up. And then I have one coming off here and then going up that way. If y'all have any questions, y'all don't hesitate to ask. Right now I'm just using a little number 2 round tip paintbrush. I did see down here where I kind of want to add my vines, kind of going more into that pumpkin above it, so it don't look like it's just kind of sitting there. And I'm gonna have to blend some more colors in with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in with a little bit of the lighter shade of green and kind of just go in. I gotta get a little bit more. Love it, very pretty. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Patricia. Wasn't gonna come on tonight, and then I said, why not? I'm up painting it anyway, so might as well come on and just hang out. All I'm doing right now is just adding the lighter shade of green. Vanessa, do you dip your brush in water then in the paint? You make it look so smooth. Oh, Vanessa, sometimes I do, yes. But actually right now, all I'm doing is I'm using some medium. And that medium helps, like, it's the Folk Art Floaty Medium. I get it from Hobby Lobby. And it helps you be able to, your paint to kind of go on a little bit smoother. But if I don't use it, then I will keep on dipping my paintbrush into water, because that really does help it. That'll help get it, you know, make us more of a smooth finish than if you didn't have, if you was kind of doing it with a dry brush. Miss Barbara, they used to have something called extender you mix with paint, made it flow more. Miss Barbara, I bet that's about what the the floating medium is. I love watching you, and this is pretty. Thank you, Miss Susie. I appreciate that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add some light colors on this top piece here, on the vines. And I'm really not being like super careful. I can't talk. And just kind of going with it. And now I'm going to come and put a little bit more of a darker color, which is, where is it at? Trying to find it. This burnt umber. Okay, thanks. I'm gonna try that. Thanks also, Miss Barbara. Yeah, definitely try the floating medium. And if you don't have that, like I said, you can keep on dipping it in some water, and that'll help get a kind of help smooth it out to where it don't go on there so too like clunky, I guess. So I'm putting this brown, and then I'm going to come back and probably put a little bit of that green back over it and kind of smooth it out. And when I do this, I've got that floating medium kind of mixed in with my brush. Thank you, Judith. And what it does is it just kind of helps the blending go a little bit smoother. But you can put a little bit too much on your brush at one time, and it kind of looks like you kind of, what would the word be? Just looks like you had too much water on there. Okay. Now we got one more over here on the bottom. We'll flip it back this way so I can get over here on this side. And I'm not really putting this any particular place. I'm just kind of just working around, putting it wherever I want to put it out. And then trying to blend it in. I get some of that green on my paintbrush and a little bit of that floating medium and kind of blend it in a little bit together with the darker green so it don't be quite as harsh with that dark color with the burnt umber. And it works pretty good by doing it that way. I'm going to put a little bit up here on the little, kind of like little vines here. I just stuck my hand in some. I'm going to try to get that brown off and go back with some little bit of medium and the green just to kind of blend that in a little bit more. Just like that. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to go ahead and just get it all with this brown. And then I'll come back and do some of the gonna kind of put some right there. Alright, so now I'm gonna take that green and the float medium and just kind of blend it in. Just so it don't be as harsh. Maybe a little bit more of that green. Muddy. Oh my, what a difference from yesterday. Love it. Oh, well, thank you so much. Is it Johnny or Joni? Johnny? Yeah, I think the leaves and the vines really brought a lot of it out. I wasn't too sure about putting the vines and the leaves because I kind of didn't want to mess with the whole realistic look of the pumpkins. But I kind of really like the way it's looking with the vines and stuff. Alright, so I did come down here on the bottom and I put a little bit of the white. So I'm going to go ahead. Alright, so I let my white get a little bit dried up there. Well, it's not white, it's actually an antique white. Let me get me just a little bit more of that. Yes, I have a boy name. Well, that's all right. Totally okay. All right, that color looked a little bit more. I think this white, it just puts a pop of brightness on it, so it don't be quite as just not but dark colors in the vines. I think it just makes it pop a little bit more. But I'm trying to be careful not to put, oops, I like to do that. Put too much on there at one time because I'm trying to do very tiny little strokes. You can see that just made them pop a little bit more. Thank you, Miss Beverly. Thank you, Debbie. All right, I'm thinking I'm gonna need a little bit right there. Okay, so now I'm gonna come and I'm gonna add a little bit more to my leaves here. Now I have took my King's Gold and put just a tiny bit of yellow in my leaves. I've got to turn it this way so I can kind of see what I'm doing. But it's just a very, very tiny bit of yellow in some spots, and you probably can't even really see it in the video. Oops, I'm not even in the video. Thank you, Miss Linda. Thank you, Chrissy. All right, and now I'm gonna come very carefully and I'm gonna do the little like veins inside of my leaves. And I do that with the burnt umber. And again, I do it very, very lightly. So I have thin strokes. just like that. All right, so there's those, and I'm gonna add a little bit of that white, that antique white, to like kind of like around some spots of my leaves, just to kind of pull those out, kind of make those bright, maybe stand out a little bit more. And I'm like barely touching it. All right, and I think that's gonna be it, y'all. I know this was kind of short, but let me look at my other one just to make sure. I think I have a little bit more of the darker brown, going very thin around in some of my vines. So I'm gonna add that real quick, and maybe to make it pop out a little bit, these vines pop out a little bit more. Just in some spots. Definitely not tracing it all over. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Jeanette. Thank y'all all so much. All right. Let me look at it again real quick, just to make sure they're all looking alike. And I think that's gonna be it. This one right up here is looking a little bit sloppy, so I'm gonna get some more of that darker green and kind of fix this a little bit, because I don't know, to me it's just looking sloppy. Okay, that kind of fixes it a little bit. Let me put a little bit of the brown there. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better now. All right, so that is it. The leaves and vines really make it come to life. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I think it does too. Like I said, I wasn't too sure at first about adding the leaves to it, because I thought it was gonna just take away from all the shading and stuff that I did on the pumpkins. But it really turned out to be a lot prettier than what I thought it was gonna be. So that is the leaves and the vines. All right, so ladies, I'm gonna hop off of here and get those kiddos to bed, because they are still up. And as long as I'm up and I don't make them go to bed, they will stay up all night long probably. So I hope y'all enjoyed this little quick tutorial on doing the leaves and double loading your paint brushes with 2 different shades of a color. And I will probably see y'all sometime tomorrow, or either definitely Monday. All right, thanks and good night.